My question goes to Elia. What do you think? Is that correct? So don't look at this answer. This is wrong. This is something from somewhere else, from different. Elia, are you here? Okay, let's continue with who else do we have? Somebot. You wanna try?
I think it will be hello.
Your answer is hello. Interesting. Karina?
So the first one, undefined is a falsy value, so it's not gonna read. So then it's gonna go to the second condition, which is false or false. False is a falsy value, and the false with the string is not a falsy value, so it's gonna print hello.
Only hello.
Yes.
Okay. I have asked for 3 students so far. Who wants to change everything? Saying, no, I have different idea, so it's gonna be this way.
I'm not sure. Maybe it will be hi and hello.
Who's this? Couldn't find. Iperi?
Yeah.
You think it's both of them?
Yeah.
Ulan, what do you think?
I think hi and hello.
Any reason behind your answer?
Because type of any value should be a type, a data type, which cannot be a false.
Mm-hmm. And then the second if conditional?
So a string is not empty, but I'm not sure actually. It might be false. Might be, yeah, 0.
Okay. Julia, what do you think?
I'm pretty confident about the second one, that it's going to print hello, but about hi, I'm not sure.
Got it. Okay, let's print it out. Before printing, my guess is both of them, hi and hello. First, we have multiple ifs. It means that we can have maximum 2 answers. Okay, minimum nothing. So, and the average case, we can have 1 answer. Maximum 2 answers, minimum nothing, or 1. So here, type of undefined is, in fact, undefined, which is gonna return me a data type, and then type of data type is a string. Okay, let's test this one. Oops, where is my output? Anyway, look at this. So type of, and then I have another type of inside. Type of undefined. Okay, this one is undefined. Is undefined, but type of undefined is what undefined? And then type of undefined is string. You see, since it's a string, the first option goes to true because it is replaced something with a text. And so it fires me the text hi. And in the second option, we have false, which is already string. This is not a Boolean. And I'm not interested with the rest because I have or operator. And the moment I detect there is a true value, I'm done. I don't need to continue. So it means that I will fire the block of code in my condition. So here we will print hi, hello. Make sense? Okay, and then one more simply, how about this one? Evgenia, you wanna try?
Yeah, I can try. Maybe print all.
Okay, your option is all of them, right? Camelia?
Hi, I think it's first because on the first example, the first one was as a string, right? First if, and if it's true, it should execute high and it shouldn't go after that. I mean, to the next one.
Yeah, nice analysis. Tumar, what do you think? Hey, Tumar, can you hear me? Miran, what do you think?
Yes, hello, sorry, I'm just joined.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
And yeah, just try this code block. What do you think the output is when I click this run button? Think about it, okay? How many outputs you can get maximum? 3 or 1 or 2?
3 maximum.
One
Okay.
maximum because we have else if, and I think it's gonna
Oh,
be
yeah,
high
no.
because
Yeah, that's what I wanted to try address yesterday. Can
Mm.
someone explain the difference between if and if else?
if is we can have, like, if there's two if, then we can have two outcomes, but in if else statements we can have just one outcome.
Yeah, if you have 100 ifs, you can have 100 outputs as long as the condition is okay, right? But in if else if or if else, you will have only one output, which is guaranteed. The guaranteed one is this else, okay? And you will not have more than one output in this kind of dependent conditional, because the moment you find something is true, you fire your block of code and then you will not continue forward. So here, look at this. The first conditional is true, and then I'll fire this one line 11, and then I will not continue forward. I'm done. Okay. Yeah, be careful. This is just another, tiny detail that should be taken account always before writing conditionals. Should I go with if or if else? Okay. I always give the same analogy. So if means you have key for the 100 doors, so you can open as many as your key can. But for the if else, your key can open only one of them, and then once you open, you are done. You will not continue. Okay, and regarding the yesterday's app, pagination, model, right? All of those. And we will continue with more features with additional functionalities. Anyone who tried at home and could manage to finish? Did you guys try at home? How the code, how the components are rendering and then exchanging information between each other? Botir, could you find time? Okay, Botir says at home, so he can follow. And Dauronbek, what do you think? Could you find time to sync up?
Yeah, hi, Kanybek. Yeah, I did try to code what you have done yesterday, but I didn't complete. I didn't do this model part, but I have done the rest.
Awesome, yeah. Hopefully, most of you just looked at it and then tried to understand, figure out what's going on. And today we will continue again on this particular project for the first part, and the next part within the groups, we will do it from scratch. Okay, and so about the model. Model is working actually. Yesterday we did. I said that so we can continue for the next 10-15 minutes, and then we just completed this model. So it is working, and it is showing these three known for items as well, popularity, and then individual image inside this model. So particularly how this model is working actually, let me first go walk through from the beginning. So state, initial state, empty data, current page, and then this is a URL. This is a standard. Okay, this is a constant URL, which is an assistant URL to just bring the image from the API that we will be fetching over here. Okay, otherwise this API has a bunch of data, but not image completely. So just a part of the image. And if we attach that part of the image and then to this image URL, we can easily get the image content. Okay, and then component did mount is used to render first time to bring the API, and then we just created a function, async function to where we bring the data from cloud from this API whenever we want. So we can call this wherever we want, whenever we want, again and again. Okay, and then we have another helper functions, so change page, which we sent to pagination component. Okay, and then this pagination component takes this change page inside and hands me something. What it hands me, whatever I click on that page. For example, I have here page numbers. Okay, if I click this 2, okay, it means that I am clicking this guy, and then it hands me number 2. Okay, if I click number 5, it means that I am clicking this one, and it hands me number 5. And for the same, this button 1, and it hands me number 1. As a result, I'll come back to my app and then change my page to that particular number. Okay, and once the change is, the current page is updated with the number that I brought already from my pagination. Okay, so this current page is updated to whatever the number I clicked, and then I'll call my API again, and this API requires one parameter over here, which is current page, and current page is just updated to the number whatever the button I clicked recently, and then that number is attached here, and as a result I will bring a different set of data from cloud. Okay, when I click 4, the number 4 is attached to here. Look at this, number 4 is attached over here. Okay, and then based on this API parameter number 4, it brings me different 20 array of objects, object of arrays, array of objects. And then when I click 5, okay, the button sends me number 5, and then app updates the current page, and then I'll call my API again with that current page number, and this number is attached using the string template and brings me the data inside number 5. Okay, I said that this API has 500 pages, and every page has 20 array of objects. So look at here. Now nothing is put here as a page number. So when I put here 20 data from page number is brought, and then if I put here 2, another 20. Okay, and then let's say if I put here 20, another 20. If I put here 500, another 20. So there are total 500 pages. And later on, we also implemented what did we actually, if the data is still loading, it means that we will not map our data. We will just show the spinner. But once this loading is done, this goes to false, and then we will map our data to draw or to show on our UI side, right? And so this is the details of that data where we just put the image, name, and then the details, and attaching some more helper functions. And down below here in line number 7 and 9, we have a model. That model will not be rendered until someone clicks any of this particular image, okay? There is no model activated, but if I click this one, it means that this state goes to true, okay? Who makes this true? This function, onClick, this.model, okay? So let's go check model function, what is he doing? So that model is actually setting my model clicker to true. Okay, if that is true, it means that I have to render this component, model component, and then send some extra data over here, 1 and then 2. Based on that data, I'm going to my model and then toggling my model component. So here model has some event listeners. One of the basic and essential one is open. Okay, if that is open, okay, it means that I have to fire my model. If that is false, I have to close. Okay, so here I can change, and that close button is over here. Handle open, I will just change that state, is open to false. Okay, that's it. And I have such, since we are sending here, when we click this one, okay, that's another important point. When we click this guy, how we send the data to model, can someone summarize me, guys, from previous class? For example, when I click this one, how we end up getting the data of this object in our model content.
When we are clicking, we are getting its ID, and then we're sending only that one, only one item.
Exactly. Look at here. Yeah, when I click this one, okay, and the item.id is attached to my model. And in my model, based on that ID, I'm filtering out only that information from entire data. Okay, as a result, I end up getting only one object because I'm getting here ID, and filtering that ID, it gives me one single object of array. And then I send that data to my model over here. Okay, is a props I'm sending to my model, and inside my model, that data is available. So this one, okay, model data. And then from that model data, I'll just, access to my first index. Why? Because we have only one object inside one array. And then from that array of object, I will map the known for key. So let me show over here. I think about that in my model, I am receiving this guy, okay? Only this one when I click. Or if I click, let's say, if I click this one, I'll receive only this one. Who is this? Let's say Olga. Okay, I'll receive only this one. And then when I receive, I'll just map this known for one more time. Okay, I'm mapping one more time. And then extracting the images of that she acted earlier. So here I have known for another array of objects I'm mapping. And then here we have poster path. So this one is an image, and there is another image, poster path, and then one more poster path over here. So there are 3 images associated with their titles, okay? So I'm just mapping and then showing on my UI that he or she acted in this particular image or movies. If you kind of figure it out yesterday and then today. I think whatever I mentioned so far should be clear. But any questions, please? Are we good to continue?
Yes, I think I don't have a question.
Oh yeah, we can work later on during the breakout rooms. Let's complete the other features. So what I want to add is 3 features. Dynamic pagination, so we can continue until 500th page. So we can put here next button. That's the 3rd step. 2nd step is to put drop-down menu to select only male or females. That's the 2nd task. And 1st task, let's implement the simplest one is search. Okay, based on the search, we can filter out if that typed string is included in this particular set of objects and in their names. Okay, so search, the 1st feature. Have you worked, guys, with search before in React? I think Sarah showed, right?
Yeah, we have.
Awesome, you have already experience. So we can bring a search from React Strap. Let me go and then show one more time how React Strap actually works. So just click the React Strap. This is Bootstrap, which gives you responsive built-in components. You don't need to build everything from scratch. It is responsive, okay? And it adjusts according to the screen size. If it goes to, let's say, extra small, it adjusts itself, going on top of each other like a stacked. If screen gets bigger and bigger, it adjusts and maintains this, the size of the components.
Kanybek, can you please zoom in a little bit?
Of course, yeah, my browser, right? Yep. So, okay, now this is the React Strap home page. Initially, you always have to, guys, install this package like you do, for example, npm install font awesome, npm install bootstrap, npm install, let's say, popper.js, jQuery, what else, and so on. Okay, so that's why this is the key, initial step to start with the React Strap. Npm install React Strap, React, and then React DOM is the, and then once you install, you have to put this link inside your index.js. It's over here, okay? Because in node modules, you have to reference your components to this node modules bootstrap folder, because this one holds all the classes that makes your components responsive. Okay, so this is the 1st step, and then linking this inside index.js, and you are ready to start using the React Strap components. So you have to go, for example, whichever you want. Let's say we used with model buttons. Okay, buttons are common one. So for example, this is the primary color, and then there are many different. So you can select secondary, success, danger, warning, info, light, dark, and then you can have, outline, different types of buttons over here, large, even like drop down buttons and so on. So you just need to attach event listeners for them to be able to work during your React project. Okay, so let's bring our input component to implement in our search feature. Make sense? Achtan, any questions? Achtan, are you here? Looks like busy. Okay, so which one we can get? I can get this one. Group admin, just empty maybe. So you see we have spinners over here. You already worked earlier. This one. And if you want more like advanced spinners, so NPM has different libraries, for example, React, circular, spinner, or progress. Okay, let's go and search React circular progress bar. So you see different types of progress bars. So you have to go and then install this one and then import. After importing and linking with the correct folder and file structure, you can start working with them by just copying, pasting this entire component. Okay, so let's go with the input. I can take this one. So where is the code? Or how about the first one? Okay, first one is also fine. Let's take that one. Okay, and where can we put? Down below the pagination, right? Is that okay? So if you put over here div, so actually doing it. Okay, sorry. Okay, and I don't want this one. Input text, we can remove that. So only input is okay. And then placeholder type to search. Okay, so will it work, guys, if I save now? Even if I installed, look at this, I have already installed yesterday and then in our previous classes.
To import your input.
What should I do, Ali? Hey, Ali, can you hear me? Tashtan, what do you think?
Yeah, we need to import it.
Yeah.
You already import, you should add inside import line 2.
In line 2?
Spinner button.
Over here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, after installing, even though you, if you just put the component, it will not work because we have to import that one from React Strap. I can take this one and then put over here, and then one more, this one, put down here, save. Let's see how it looks like. Yep, it's here, you see, type to search, and then with some highlighted background, the border shadow, and so on. So we can apply a custom CSS to move a little bit separated. And so margin from everywhere I can apply here 10 pixels. So let's see. Okay, now, so they have some space between my cart and then this input component. What is next? Next is to start attaching our event listeners, right? Okay. Is my VS Code large enough so you can see, guys?
If a little bit more zoom in will be nice.
How about now?
Yeah, it's nice. Thank you.
Okay. Now, yeah, I want your help. How can we implement this search functionality? We have just implemented so far the regular HTML. What's next?
So what do you want to do with this one?
Search features show. What do we want to do actually? So when I type here, let's say Davron, if I have such name in my list, it should list only those. Okay, so if I type here Tom, for example, here Tom Hanks, Tom Hardy, and do we have Tom? We don't, looks like. Oh, here, over here, Tom Holland. So I want only those three guys on my screen when I type here Tom.
On change?
Filter.
Exactly, yeah. The first one is on change event listener, right? And then attaching a function, right? So let's say this dot handle search. You can go and then create that function using, let's say, console.log, and then what it brings us when we type is the value important, right? Value. So it should bring us value. So value, and so we have to store this value in our state, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we can put here search, and then initially it is empty, and this value is actually that state, this dot state dot search. And so when I start typing, it should bring me this value so I can use later on, right? Let's see. So E, and then E, and then what?
Target that value.
Yeah, target that value to reach out this input data, right? So let's see. Console and then inspect. Let's type over here. Tom. I have Tom here. Not Tom, actually. T-O-M. Nothing. Why it's not showing, guys? Why it's not
Because we
typing?
need
Because
filter.
we didn't filter.
Why, what?
Because we didn't filter and we didn't show it on our UI.
No, before filtering, why it's not showing me when I type here?
We didn't you do it on the set. I mean set state.
Yeah.
We didn't
We have,
set the value.
yeah, we
yet.
haven't updated the state yet, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so this dot set state. So search is gonna be my E dot target that value, right? Now let's see. So I can bring it down over here to check if the search is changing. This dot state dot search. Now let's say Tom. Is it still running? Tom. Yep, Tom is over here. Okay. Initially, when I typed T, okay, state was T, and then when I typed O, state has become to TO. When I typed M, state has become to Tom. Okay, so the latest value of my search state is now Tom, right? Or space, and then let's say Hanks. And the latest value of my search state is now Tom Hanks. Now, we can use this state value to search from this available array of objects, right? Okay, how can we do that?
We can filter through our data and then try to see if the name starts with the search.
And then?
And then set state to the data, because when we are mapping the data on the bottom, so that's automatically going to bring the already set stated one.
Good point. Should we map? Should we change the state, guys, after filtering?
Yes, I think we need to change the state. We have to update, then
Okay,
can
okay, you say that once we filter, we can update the state. Can we do without updating the state?
Yes, I think we can. But we have to create new key and then put those
In separate
in
array.
Yes, I think.
Okay. Any other options? Ulan, what do you think?
I think we shouldn't update the state. We can do data.filter.map, maybe.
Data filter, and then the output of that filter you can map. Right?
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Let's do with the more simpler option without changing the state. But if you want to test and then try whether it works or not, yeah, you can try later. But the most optimum solution would be without updating the state. So let's say constant filter it, right? And so we can take the data is available over here, and then just filter, okay? And then this filter will hold what? It anyway holds me array of objects. If I type something, okay, it returns me the matching items. If I type nothing, it does return me any matching items, but returns me the whole, the array. So I just can put over here instead of mapping the data, but the filtered one. Okay, then let's finish this one. Item, and then item that name, we have that property, right? So what is that? It's over here. So this is my object, and then I have name. Okay, so it contains uppercase names and then capitalized surnames. How can we come up with that? So when we type here lowercase, it brings or it takes into account anyway, despite we type here lowercase letters.
Lowercase. Method includes.
Includes, okay, before start writing the includes, we can convert. Yeah, we can convert this name to lowercase, right? To lower case. Is this correct?
Camel case.
Camel
Yeah.
case. To lower case.
I
So
guess we already have user filtered variable. We can choose another name.
We already used?
Yeah, if you go up, we have a LED filter 45. Yeah.
Filter, that one is only local for this function. But
I'm sorry.
yeah, anyway, that would be better if we not to confuse, right? Filter it, let's say, after search. More detailed. Okay, data that filter item and an item name, and we are converting to lowercase, and then we will check includes. Includes what?
This does state that search.
This that state that search, right? The one that we recently updated in our search after typing some text or string. So what if I type over here something like that? It should still show me Tom Hanks, right? What should I do over here?
So again, to lowercase.
Yeah, again to lowercase, right? Maybe some, yeah, maybe another user comes and then writes in uppercase. So I will just convert everything to lowercase and then to find out the matching ones. So let's console here if we have someone filter it or not. So filter it after search, or here I can put such marker like filter it. Let's see. And let me close those things. Otherwise, not to confuse. So don't want that console. And then this one console is okay. Now let's go back and then check. Now I'm gonna type here Tom. You see, Tom is filtered and then free data. And then once it's filtered, I'm just mapping this one, filtered after search. Okay, even though the name is capitalized, but even if I write here uppercase Tom or mixed Tom, it takes into account that it is a Tom anyway. Okay. So what if I don't type anything? It just thinks that, okay, everyone includes, in fact, that empty string. Everyone includes. And it returns me 20 data, and then I'll map again those 20. Right? But if I type something here, T, it returns me only the one includes letter T in their names. Okay. If I narrow my search, TO, I'll get only 3 data that includes TO in their names. And then so on. Questions?
Kanybek, why are we using two lowercase twice? Can you explain it again?
Of course. Yes. So if I don't use, guys, let's say, if we don't use it anywhere, it still works. Let's remove that lower cases. Save. And then kind of remove something.
You missed one parenthesis, closing parenthesis.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Closing parenthesis, and are we done? Looks like yes. Yeah, look at this. If I type here Tom, nothing is returned. No one contains TOM exactly this way. No one contains. But in fact, we do have here this guy, this one, and then this one, right? So during the search, we can convert these names to lowercase. So here we can put to lower. Okay. And then make all these names in a lowercase. And if you type here Tom now, then it filters out the exact matching. So let me save it again and then type Tom. Now, why if I type here lowercase and then it still brings me 3 images? Because I just forced them to be lowercase and then comparing to the text that I'm typing over here. Since it matches, okay, it returns me. How about if someone comes here, okay, and then types in this way? It should actually supposed to get 3 data, but this time we are not getting. Now we can also convert the user's type text to lowercase to compare everything in lowercase state, okay, or everything in lowercase form. That's why even though you type here with uppercase or lowercase, nothing changes. We are forcing the data to lowercase and then the text that the user is typing to lowercase and then comparing to each other. I mean, checking whether it includes or not. As a result, we can get the more accurate results. Make sense? Any questions?
Kanybek, I have a question.
Yes.
What if you type instead of Tom any digit, maybe 1?
Okay, let's see. Yeah, no one includes this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's not giving error, right? So
No.
1 to
No.
lowercase is not okay.
Yeah. Even though you cannot convert the text to lowercase, but the filter works only based on the true false. It means that, okay, everything is false and just returns nothing. Yep. So space, yeah. Some of them include 1 space at least I think all of them, but no one includes 2 spaces.
Yeah, on just why I'm asking, because on Vanilla.js, when I do like this, when I filter and try to make them to lowercase, it gives error and stops working.
It throws error, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I see. There should be other solutions. Yeah, hopefully. Okay, are we okay with this filter? And then I'm just mapping that filtered one. So if you type nothing, it anyway returns me everything, but the moment you start typing, it returns only the one who includes that names, okay? LA, and so on. And for the same here, let's say MI, same here, Nicholas, and TA, T, and so on, okay? And now, how about the drop down? So we can put here a drop down menu, and let's go use the React drop downs, input forms, button sizings. Do we have somewhere else that drop down? If you can see up our.
I think on the top. Yep.
Oh, okay. So here and drop down header, some action. Okay, you can get this one. How about this? Also okay. Not bad. Okay, let's start with a simpler one. Show code and get that code. Do we need this style? So I'm gonna get this toggle drop down. Where is its parent element? Drop down, and then action one. That's a little different.
Div, parent element is div.
Yes, but I don't want all of them, but only part of them. And this one is entire drop down. Looks like too much. Function no ref. Body, this is body. Let's try to get this one. Drop down menu. Okay, only this small part. Let's try and import them in our React strap and drop down item. Okay, so we have drop down imported and drop down item imported. And this point I don't want, and this point don't want. Oh, well, let's see how it looks. Where is our drop down? Did I save it? Drop down mini, container, body, drop down item. And
Didn't import it, right?
I did here, drop down menu, drop down item. It's
I
not
think you should copy more. No,
makes
there's
sense, yeah. So
like this entire drop down starting from this last click null. See, I think you should start copying from there.
yeah, let's try this way. That's the parent supposed to be. Drop down and let me remove. These are in hooks. And then no one. And one more. We need to import. Control E, save, C. Drop down toggle is not defined. Do we have toggle? Oh, okay, one more. Let's see. Okay, so drop down, but yeah, it starts giving error because we don't have event listeners, right? Toggle is not a function. What is a toggle? Let's see. Oh, that's one of the important parts. How about the one in material UI? Get started. So for the material UI, the same. Just after installing this one-line code, you are good to start with the working material UI components, any component. So let's go and then check drop down. Do we have? Drawer. Material UI, drop down. I think that's select. Menu item val. Okay, this is much more clearer. Let's go with this one. Control V. And so we have to import these ones from material UI. How it looks like. If you go to Code Sandbox, they have the complete imported list of components, so you can drag and drop in your code. Actually, we could have implemented the custom drop down, but I just want to show more and more the responsive components. So here we have select, form control, everything except box, I think. Okay, Control C. Double check if I have installed the material UI. So it's over here. It is. Okay. Quickly. It is very fast and should be sweet. Let's go back and check it. Still loading. Okay, this is our form control, and then 10, 20, 30. Age is not defined. Why? Okay, we can remove at this point and put here something. Okay, let me remove here. This one also. Okay, since this is a full stretch, come on, still says age is on which age? Is there a variable age? I don't want this input level. Okay, we will work on this 10, 20, 30. So we can say this one is a male and this one is female, and we don't want this one, and this is male and this is female. Okay, and we can implement one for empty. So let's say this is nothing, and this is, let's say, select to choose. Let's see. Male is not defined. Got it. So it should be in string. We will use that string. Okay. Female and male over here. Now it works. Okay. Select to choose male, female. If we select this one, it will select nothing. But when we select male, it should filter us only the male ones. And when we select female, only female ones. So this full width is not necessary. anyway. Let's leave it this, at least this way. But do we have other width except full width? It's a little smaller width, right? Form control, minimum width. Let's see. So I can put a little less, wider. Yeah, okay. Next step is to filter based on these selections. And that's way simpler than even search button. Okay, search functionality. Okay, let's have a break. 2 minutes or 3. Okay, 5 minutes is enough, and then we'll continue. Meanwhile, I'll just be fixing these CSS issues. Oh, this H is for header. Okay. We can put that H, let's say gender. Yeah, it goes to the top and occupies the top border. Select to choose. Minimum width is a margin. We can put here 220. Yeah. Okay, we'll do it together. Any questions regarding React, the concepts we have covered so far, or the search functionality? You can say that during the interviews. For example, what are your contributions during your, let's say, project team? So you can say, my tasks were to implement search functionality, pagination, and then what else, including the, the modal. So in order to gain the time and then speed, I used the responsive libraries like Material UI, React Strap. React Strap is like a bootstrap for React. And then I'm really proud of building those kind of features, which improved the, the productivity as a result. So this way you can talk to link the conversation during the interview process. Makes sense. Maybe, of course, you will be having maybe better answers, but this is just an example. Okay, definitely you'll be asked like, tell me about your contributions. What features you developed? Yeah, these are the answers: search feature, filtering, pagination, model. Okay.
Okay.
Any questions? Also, you should be ready for the questions like, what was the challenging part of your project? So we have to think about it more, in a more constructive and more promising way. The challenging parts. And you can say maybe something like, the project was built in, let's say, in class, based on the class components, but during my term or during my involvement, I converted the class components to hooks, because hooks have more advantage over classes in terms of using lifecycle methods. And then also hooks are just the regular JavaScript functions, which works faster and then readable, and also makes your code look readable, and then also takes less space in terms of lines of codes. Okay, so it took a little bit time for me, and then it was challenging, but I'm really proud that I kind of overcome all of those hurdles and so on. Okay. How about if we continue? Male, select to choose nothing, and female, male, female. But this one is filtering Tom. And these are jumping from page to page. Have you done, guys, the filtering based on the drop-down menu?
Yes.
Okay, you are familiar then. Let's go and then do for this one. So the first thing is first, so we will start attaching the event listener, right, on change. And then based on this one, we will grab these values. And the values will be stored and then updated in a state every time we make selection, right? So let's say gender selected, and then this is empty initially. And we'll be using this one on change instead of handle change. So this dot, let's say handle select, or handle drop down, right? And then I have to bring this one of these data when I select to the state for further updating. And function, let's see, who am I bringing actually? Console.log. Let's write here t.target dot value. Okay, will it work? Oops, just t. X, and then let's put here t dot. Let's see what we are actually selecting. Drop down. Console. Oops. Male is selected. And then female is selected. Okay. Since male is selected, okay, I have to update my UI with only the male candidates. Okay. Where female is selected, okay, I have to update with females. Now let's see how the API contains the actual gender value for those keys. So in fact, gender is 2, which is for whom? For male. Okay, and gender is 1 when we have a female. Okay, so when it is 1, it is female. When it is 2, it is male. So we have to change the value from male to 1 actually, and then female to 2, right? Or sorry, 1 to 2. Okay. So when we save this one, we will, when we click select male, we will bring number 2, because API has that way defined the males number 2 and then females number 1. Okay. So based on that number 2 and then number 1, we can update our value this way, or we can organize our drop-down menu in this way. So when every time we select the drop-down menu, we will bring these values. Means that, okay, we selected male. and then we will update our UI based on that. Okay, so let's see if we are selecting the correct one. So when I click here male, I'm supposed to see here number 2, right? Yeah, number 2. And then when I click female, number 1. And based on this number 1 and then number 2, I will only filter out from my available data the one who has number 1 or the one who has number 2 in their gender property. So here, the same way, guys, I will do the filtering. Okay, const filter it, let's say after drop down, and then the procedure is completely same, data dot filter and then item. Okay, and item dot gender. So every item has a gender property, and if it is equal to what? Equal to what?
Numbers. Oh,
Gender that's selected, right? So
and
here I have to update my, state.
this state dot.
Exactly. This dot set state with that target value. So here, not this one, gender selected, Control C, and put over here, update to this target that value. But target is in string. And if you see the API, the gender is in number, right? So we can automatically handle that drop-down menu. Look at this string to number directly over here, just by putting what? String to number. How you can convert?
Number and wrap it.
Number.
Yeah, just number and then wrap it. It puts your state in number. Otherwise, target is in string, which may gives error because the data or API gender property is in number. So we can easily update using here the number built-in function to convert and update our state. So I will use this one equal to this dot state that is gender selected to filter out only filter it after drop downs. Okay, let's see, and then filter it after drop, and who are filtered so far. I'm gonna run again, and inspection is already, and let's see, male. You see 11. There are 11, looks like. Okay, if it's not convincing, let's select male. There should be 9 now. Okay, out of 20. Yeah, there are 9 left. So 9 of them are female and 11 of them are male. See? Cool. And what should we do is, instead of mapping this filtered after search, we can map this one, right? And now let's see. Okay, nothing. Filtered after drop down. Why? It is empty. Console.
I think because you are filtering empty.
Okay, empty. When it is empty and it converts to.
Now can you go up?
Okay.
Can we see your, yeah, on the line 68? I think you put data instead of data. Should it be filtered after search?
No, before without mixing the search, I'm just trying to filter out based on this drop down. Okay.
Okay.
Without mixing. Okay, if I just put here male, it brings me male, and then female is okay. But when I select nothing, it should bring me everything. Now let's see, let's debug it. quickly over here what it is gendering. I mean, rendering actually. When we select state drop down, when we select that empty option, okay, this option. So here, state drop down is 0, means that we don't have 0, right? In our, look at this.
Yes, we have only an empty string, not string empty.
We have only
Yeah.
one and
Yeah.
two. We don't have 0. But when we select this one, it is returning me 0, and then state is 0. So if it's 0, we have to develop a logic, so it should anyway render everything.
I think there is a maybe simpler solution.
Okay.
Like, if you just remove number on line 62, I mean, without converting it to number, can you remove it? Yeah, and then on the line 68, you need to compare it with the double equal sign, not triple.
That's a great solution. So here it is still string, and then this brings me 1, and then this is string, right? If it's 1, will go through. If it's 2, it still goes through and then filters out, but not that secure. Okay, anyway, it works. Okay, because double equal sign is not that secure. For this one, it is still 0. Why?
Can we make Turner operator inside the filter? If the string is 0, then
Yep.
put all the data.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, this solution is for without conversion, but double equal sign. Try to use always triple equal sign that to make your comparisons super secure. Okay, and even though you have to use the built-in function, yeah, use that one. Okay. Yep. And yeah, it is returning us 0, but based on that 0, we still have to return everything. Okay, item gender before rendering. Let's say here we can go with the simple if conditional, right? Over here. So let's say if Control C this one, return if it's true, right? It means if there is a number. But if it's 0, we have to return just everything, right? Just item. Does make sense?
Zero is not a number?
0 is number, but it is falsy.
Okay.
Okay, it's falsy. So if it's 0, it will not go inside and returns every item. But if it's 1 or 2, it goes inside and selects only based on that 1 or 2.
I have a question.
Yes.
In filter, the outcome should be a Boolean, no? In mapping, we can bring data, but in Boolean, in filter should be Boolean.
No, output will not be Boolean, but comparison will based on the Boolean. But output will be not Boolean in filter.
Oh, I see, I see.
Yeah, comparison based on the Boolean. Okay, so let's see. And try to analyze one more time if it makes sense for you guys. So if this state gender selected, if it's 1 or 2, okay, I'll jump into and then make selection based on the 1 or 2. But if it's 0 or something else empty, if it's falsy, I'll jump to this line and then return only the item itself. Okay, let's see. Yeah, you see, nothing is selected, everything is returned. And the moment I select male, only male. If female, only female. Okay. Now, how about if I type here, let's say Tom, we don't have Tom now. How about if I go male and then write Tom, still we don't have. We are not using that filtered, right? Where should we use this one?
Inside.
On the
So
line 68 instead of data.
yeah, let's write it over here instead of data, but the filtered one. Okay. So initially everything is empty. And if I select only based on male, okay, it selects me based on male. And if I type here Tom, leaves me only Tom. Okay. Or female, let's say Al. Yes. L. Okay. Li. Yes. Okay. Male. And then Tom. But if you go to female and then type Tom, you see nothing. If it choose nothing, nothing, but based on the Tom and then select nothing, still everything. Works perfectly. Yeah, you see, gender jumps down and then takes place from its position. You know, it's way responsive now. Yep. Yeah, this is drop down and then search functionality. You can explain that you're proud of, and then as a great contributions during your you know, project development in your during your internships or in doing your companies. Does make sense or underestimating?
Could you repeat? What should we be proud of?
What should we be proud of? Yulia?
We should be proud how we implemented this functionality. I'm just thinking of, can you be really proud of it if you did it within an hour, like maybe less, while explaining?
Still, yeah, it depends on how well you explain. Okay, so you may say that I implemented, let's say, these features using the advanced ES6 features with using the, you know, higher order functionalities and then the reusable functions. So the later the teammates are also like can use my codes. That's what I'm proud of. And then these are my great contributions during my latest project involvement. Okay, but if you underestimate and then say that I just implemented search and then drop down, which is, you know, it's simple and okay, it means that losing kind of points and not able to get credit. Okay, yeah, this is from real experience, guys. Don't underestimate. So you can, you know, you can sell yourself in a way more advanced way. For example, just explaining these stuffs. Of course, there would be more better projects coming, and but this is just as one of the examples. Okay, there would be another great projects you will be working with Nurjan, with Aselia, and so on. But this is just a part of example. Because this is the most frequent and commonly asked question. Okay, tell me about the contributions you made. Okay, so my part was to implement those kind of features, pagination, drop down, search. And for the search, have you heard, guys, throttle, and then the other one is debounce. Have you heard before?
No.
So that's another advanced feature. For example, debounce in, let's say, React. So what is debounce in React? Okay, debounce function ensures that the actual on-change event callback is called and when the user has stopped inputting the graph. Okay, let me explain. Look at this. When I type here TOM, the page is rendered every time, 3 times, right? So when I type T, it rendered once. When I type TO, rendered again. M, rendered again. This way, we are just, extending the page painting and then the loading time and so on. But debounce is another optimized solution. It starts searching after you stop typing. So after 300 milliseconds after you stop typing, okay? For example, you type Tom and then debounce the text that you stopped for 300 milliseconds. Okay, now I can search rather than searching for every single letter, okay? So once you type and then the input element detects that you stopped for 300 milliseconds, okay, now I can search. You got the point?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
we can
cool.
implement in our later on projects. So this debounce, another great functionality. So you can explain that I'm proud that I implemented this feature during my project involvement. Okay, so let's see. It's called only when the user has stopped inputting the character for 300 milliseconds. We can increase this time for 1 second, for 2 seconds. So it waits. So for example, Tom, if you put 1 second, okay, it waits 1 second and then starts rendering. Okay, I have to search for Tom. If you put 10 seconds, so Tom, and then you're gonna wait 10 seconds. But meanwhile, you can type something, okay, and then if there is a 10-second delay, it starts searching. But 10 seconds is, of course, really too much delay. Generally 300 milliseconds, 500, less than 1 minute. I mean, less than 1 second, but more than half second is better. Otherwise, T rendered O, M, every time it renders. Okay. Makes sense, guys? The features, the contributions, and then the concepts that I'm trying to explain.
Can we also
Yes,
say
yes.
that it's good for accessibility, these like 3 seconds or 10 seconds delay?
For what?
Like for accessibility for the like visually impaired people?
I'm not sure with this debounce for accessibility. They have other solutions for accessibility, like ARIA and so on. But this debounce is not for improving the accessibility. This is for improving the page load, the page rendering. Okay, it's not for solving the accessibility issues. They have different approaches. And also there is another feature called throttle in React. Okay, difference between throttle and this also a little bit similar to debounce, but a little bit different. Enforce a maximum number of times function can be called over time as an executive function. For example, after 100 milliseconds. So for example, it will not render function again and again. Instead, it waits for, let's say, given particular interval and then renders. Okay, how about in debounce? We render not the function, the page, after a given amount of interval, but in throttle we will render functions only after given this interval. Okay, they have some close similarities, but we will work on this throttle. I mean this debounce, so you can talk on later. Now let's put here one arrow sign to continue for the further pages. Okay, so where is our pagination? We I think we brought from Material UI or React Strap. I think that's React Strap, right?
Yes.
React Strap pagination. Does make sense, guys? What I'm trying to explain in terms of interview-wise, in terms of concepts. If that motivates you, if that helps you, okay, I'm glad. But
Yeah, it's very useful. Thank you.
yeah, that's from my experience. That's why I'm trying to share you. So I talked like different examples for contributions, but these are the most effective ones I remember. So I implemented, let's say, appointment scheduling component where you know, where citizens can schedule appointment with the public authorities, or reschedule or cancel, or what else. So this is also another you know, feature. I explained it during the interviews because I did them. Also, what features? Appointment scheduling, rescheduling, this search, and then these controlled components. What else? Yeah, as much as I remember, I'll try to share it. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay, my pleasure. So we used from React Strap pagination, looks like, right? React Strap, let's go. And then pagination. Just I want to add one more line. This one next. Okay. Control C. And here is pagination down below. Cool. So we have to, when we click this next, look at this. When we click this next, we have to hand to our function a number that is next to the latest one. So the latest one is over here. Look at this, current page. Okay, current page is 1, of course. Okay, current page is 1. When we click this one, we have to hand to function number 2. When we click this one, we have to hand to function number 3 because we are currently in number 2. So when we are in 5, okay, when we are in 5, and if we click this next button, we have to hand number 6. Okay, so every time when we click, we can kind of call another function from parent. Control C, Control B, not change page anymore, but let's say progress forward. Okay, and then not 5, but we will decide based on the current page where we are. Okay, now let's send this function because we can get information from child to parent only by sending function first, right? So this is our function, and I'm going to send this to my, so let me put here console.log e, and then e. So I have to attach this function to my pagination component. Okay, where's my pagination? It's over here, and then this one. And also I have to send to my pagination the current page. Okay, current page. And this one is this dot state dot current page. Okay, guys, I have available this function and then current page in my pagination. What should I write here to hand the next page? I mean the next number.
Current page +1.
Yes,
This,
but
this
how I see that the current page is 2 or 4 in my pagination? What is the correct syntax? Should I write here?
Asset props.
This, that, props, and then
That
the name,
current page.
name, right? Name, and then what?
+1.
+1. Okay, and then this one brings me the next number. So let's see, and where is my progress? And then let's see current page, if it's bringing or not when we click. Look at this console, and then remove all those stuffs. And we are in page 1. And when I click, I should see number 2. 2. Again 2. Oh, 3. Still same, right?
Because we
Okay.
don't store it.
Yeah, we
updated.
haven't updated. Yeah, we haven't updated. Okay, let's say that state is number 2. And then if I click, I should see here number 3. Look at this, number 3. Okay. Okay, now I had this number, so I have just need to update my page and call the data again. Here you go. Current page is E, and then just I'm calling with the create API function one more time. And now once I call again, and then I'll bring the next data. So I'm in page 1, click, you are in page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, even further, 6. You see? Yeah, whatever the page is now, I don't know, but we can go until what page number?
500. 500.
Exactly, yeah. We can go until 500. You see? We can bring more data. So we can stop like somewhere in maybe page number 10, based on some logic. Let's say what we can do. So if the current page is, let's say, already 10, okay, if the current page is already 10, and we want to go back to what? Or we don't want to, we don't need to go back, but we can deactivate this link, okay, by putting here disabled attribute. Let's see if it works. Now it is it disabled now? It should be true, I think, to make it disabled. No, still enabled, maybe false. No, disabled.
Kanybek, can we do it with the this.props.current page? If it's not equal to 10, then +1. Would that work?
Yeah, but okay, when it's 10, I just want to disable this one because we don't have any more page to click or to bring further. Makes sense? So we have disabled attribute in HTML. I think you know, guys. Do you?
Yes.
Yeah, clicked or not, let's say, and then if I put here disabled, let's see, where is my button? Yeah, you see, should be something like this when I apply this attribute. So I will apply this attribute based on the number that I'm receiving. If it's 10, okay, I will just put here disabled to false or true, whatever it makes this button not clickable anymore. Okay, that's what I'm trying to do, as this disabled is another great feature. Okay, disabled by default looks like true. What about if I put here false? False. Will it make it clickable? Oh, I think by default it's false. So if you have to hard code the true.
Should it be inside the curly braces without the string? That's true and false.
Not sure. Always I will play around this disabled to make it clickable. Okay, how about false? Okay. Okay, we can pass through when we receive 10. Okay, otherwise we just put here false to make it always clickable. Okay, but for this one, looks like disabled doesn't work. What can we do is
Maybe we should try in the curly braces inside the false. Maybe it works because right now that's a string.
okay, but anyway, if we just put here disabled and then what was the last time? It was disabled. Okay, true, right? True. Let's see.
I think it's
Yeah.
false. We should
I think
put
it's no, they don't respond for disabled. We can maybe can we wrap with button if it's possible? Let's see. And then take this disabled out somewhere here. It may look odd. So let's say this is, oops. This is disabled. It means that it is true. So let me make it true. Oh no, button is not clickable, but this one is still clickable. Still clickable, right? Okay, and then disabled. If it won't work, we will go with our initial logic. But that one is a great feature if you use disabled for buttons when you reach the last page or when you are in the first page, so you can not go previous page, or whenever you are in the last page, you cannot go to the next page.
Yeah,
Okay?
I think it's because it's because the pagination link is a I mean anchor tag. It's not a button or it's not something, so it doesn't have a disabled.
Let's see. Let's see. Makes sense. What happened? Oh, we removed the symbol. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me take this one and then put here disabled. Disabled. And then I have to put here true, right? To disable this one. Let's see.
I think it's false.
Oh, no, I mean,
Kanybek,
I mean that anchor tags doesn't have disabled
functionality.
Yeah, property.
Yeah, I'm just trying, even if you remove.
Oh, Kanybek,
this.
it means that for pagination link, you need to use pagination equal false with the curly brackets to disable it.
Pagination equal to, this is an attribute, right?
Yes.
Okay, and is it
False
uppercase?
Brackets, lowercase.
False, right?
Yeah.
Instead of disabled. Let's see. Am I correct or just true?
Maybe let's try. I just read the article. Maybe this might help.
No, still bringing.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, you can use this button, okay, in your different projects, but yeah, just reminding you, if it won't work, let's go with different
But
solution.
it was working.
No,
Like
it didn't work.
But
It didn't work for this one.
No, it was working. But when we say pagination false,
Really?
It was working. Yeah.
Okay, then fantastic if it works. Let me refresh one more time and make sure it's saved. It is. Yeah.
Strange.
That works. Bringing all the pages. Oh, wait, I saw someone over here. Someone familiar. I thought it was Gary Neville former Manchester United player. Anyway. Okay. So it looks like that doesn't work, right? Karina, you offered this option.
Yeah, because for pagination link, it's not a button, you know, that's why it doesn't have it disabled, but it has its own pagination thing. But yeah.
Yes, somehow. Anyway, if we solve the bit different approach, so we cannot go forward, these buttons should be deactivated, right? Even though you cannot go forward, it should be deactivated. That's what I'm trying to. Okay, let's then go with the first solution. So if the props current page is, let's say, if as long as it's less than 10, okay. So let's hand this guy.
Oh, and then there's this other attribute if you want to try. It says per page equals 100 or like 10 in this case. It's
Not sure about. Okay, let's do this one. Look at this. If it works. So if it's as long as it's less than 10, I will just keep adding. Otherwise, what should I do? I just stay with the 10, right? I'll just send 10 without going further, right? Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Eknar? Looks okay.
Sorry, what did you ask?
I'm asking as long as the page, the current page is less than 10, I will just hand to my function the next page. But when it's 10, I will just stay at 10.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Yeah. So here we are in page number 1, and then let's come to 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the next we shouldn't be able to go, and we can't. See? So it's still clickable and kind of triggering and forcing our element to, you know, respond. But because of this logic, we are not getting any more data. This is a little bit a weird solution. So the best solution would be to deactivate this. Okay, but anyway, we could solve it. So you say that per page 10. What does that mean per page? So you will bring only 10 data or what?
Yeah, only 10 data. I mean, 10 pages.
10 pages, not sure about. Not looks like not that promising. Okay, but you got the point, right? You see, it's working properly until page number 10. So you can put here 500, and so you can bring all the 500 pages. Okay. Also, how about if we change this one? For example, when we are 1, and then okay, it comes to. It should also highlight, okay, which page you are in. For example, if you are in number 10, this 5 should be updated in number 10, right? That should be updated with number 10, this one. Or if you are in number 5, I mean number 7, it should be updated with 7. Yeah, so we can put here something like this. Actually, we will hand 5.
Can you say this dot props dot current page?
Exactly, yeah. So based on this logic, right? If it's less than 5, okay, we keep the page number 5. But if it's greater than 5, we will put whatever it is bringing us, right? Does make sense?
Yes.
So this is the content of this number 5. And I'll keep 5 as long as my current page is less than 5. But when it's equal or greater than 5, I will just update with that page. And let's see. So here we are in number 1, 2, nothing is changed. 3, 4, 5. Is it 5? I think we have to put here when it is less than or equal to, let's say, it is 5. One more time. So page number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And now if it's 6, this one updates to 6, and then 7, and then 8, and then 9, and then 10, and no more, because we are limited with only 10 pages. Cool. And then you can also filter and then search John or Billy and so on. Perfect. You can do, guys, the left pagination and so on. So you have the code, guys, and your task is to clone from the GitHub I sent you yesterday and implement those features that we have done today. And please, you can also work with the left arrow to go backwards. So once you click, it should change to 9, 8, and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is the same. Make sense? Any questions, guys? Let's sync up or just talk something different, whatever you are interested in. Meanwhile, I'm plugging in my computer power.
What's the purpose of clicked or not button?
That's just an example. I can remove that. There is no any particular purpose of that. I was testing the disabled attribute for button, okay, which works for button but not for the React Strap component.
Kanybek, can you also send the link to GitHub?
I sent yesterday. If you missed that one, I can send one more time. Do you all guys have the same link?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
Okay. You can take break, and then meanwhile I'll splitting you into separate breakout rooms, so you can work over there to implement those functionalities on top of the code that you clone from the link that I gave you yesterday.
Okay.
Okay, so let me create. So based on the, let's say, percentage from 0 to 100, how many % of the concepts or the features you understood today? Let me ask to Nurzat from 100 to 0 scale.
Maybe 0 to 10, so it's easy to.
Okay, let's say from 0 to 10.
I will say like 5.
In the middle, middle.
Mm-hmm.
Then you should have something like still confusing parts, right?
Yeah, because I missed yesterday's class, so I'm watching the yesterday's video because I haven't finished yet. So
Oh, yesterday you missed. Okay.
yeah, so I'm still trying to figure out. So
Okay, Aikel, what about you? Out of 10. Can you hear me, Aikel? Looks like busy. Hi, Peri.
Yeah, I think maybe 7 or 6.
Mm-hmm. Much of the concepts and features look clear, right? Understandable.
Yeah, just need some practice. Yeah.
Awesome, great. Ali, how about you?
I think it's about like 6 to 7.
Mm-hmm. Great. So I think you can compensate those gaps during today's breakout rooms, guys, to catch up and fill all of those unclear parts, hopefully. And then I'll be jumping between the rooms. Let me assign you over here. So
Kanybek, I have sent to the chat the options to disable the anchor tags. So there are two options, like from styling and from CSS. And second one is to change the href link.
Makes sense. Interesting. Yeah, let's try that one during our teamwork. Okay, I'll also try. Yep. Thank you. Thank you. So give me seconds. Any other questions regarding React concepts? Okay, you can jump into your rooms and start working. So you can, one of you can share the screen and ask together.